What is up, my Squirtleites? It is I, your king, welcoming you back to more Let's Play Pokemon White. In the last episode, we made our way into Wellspring Cave, where we did battle against multiple Team Plasma Grunts in the interest of saving a girl's Pokemon that they had kidnapped, and Sharon is in the process of bringing it back to her. We're going to meet up with him in due time, but there is a little detour I am taking that's over this way. We got this Pokemon breeder trainer that we're going to be battling, and there is an item directly below her, which I believe is a repel, ironically enough. And after the fact, then we are going to be heading on over and talking to Charon and Bianca. And I'm also going to hit up the daycare center over there so I can actually heal up my Pokemon. And then we'll just be proceeding through the rest of the route today. Hopefully making it to the next town before all is said and done. Okay, so she's packing 3 Pokemon this time. I'm going to try to do a little bit of damage with Quick Attack. Marty's got that boosted physical attack, which is going to help out a little bit. And actually, this is a perfect opportunity for me to waste a turn using a heal and then biding my time with some tail whips, which is ironic because Patrat's actually the one using bide in this situation, but whatever. I don't actually want to take a hit here, so I don't want to deal any damage while Patrat is storing all that energy. Just use another one. Of course, it failed because I wasn't really doing anything at all. And yeah, we'll just go back to using Quick Attack now. All right. That priority move is going to help a lot. Patrat's going to use Leer, and if it tried to use Bite again, it wasn't going to do it any good anyway at this point. Cannot wait for Marty to get a better move. In fact, I probably should teach Marty Work Up. That would actually make a lot of sense, wouldn't it? But next up is Lillipup. So this is another one that we're going to have to be pretty cautious with. I'm going to pretty much have to just be working on these tail whips as I go. But I think if I can give Marty Work Up, that'll help him out a bunch, if he can learn it. I said most Pokemon can learn it, but not every Pokemon can. And also, that was so much freaking damage that I am just going to switch on over to Arthur. Yeah, that physical defense. We'll make it work. And the reason I'm not like super... Oh, I got to switch now with Marty is because of a reason that will all make sense in due time. Long story short, though, Marty is a member of our team, like a proper member of our team, unlike Amy, but Marty is also not going to be a permanent fixture on the team, if that makes sense. In due time, I will explain, but for right now, just know that I do have bigger and better plans for the future. So it's okay that Marty isn't perfect. He is as good as he can be for the time being, but for right now, let's just continue to use these really weak quick attacks. And, ooh. Gust isn't going to do too much damage, though, so I can at least handle that a little bit. And not very effective is going to be awesome. And, oh, you have big packs. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, sometimes, I think sometimes Pidove can have big packs, but I think it has a different ability sometimes, too. I think it's Kenai is what it is, or what? There's another option that it can possibly have where it can still... it can still have its defense lowered, and I was trying to bank on that, but unfortunately I was not able to. So I guess I'm going back to Arthur, who is going to be taking a super effective hit from this Gust, unfortunately, because there's not really much else that I can do at the moment. Not that it's going to do too much damage, though. Arthur can take it. I mean, that freaking 6 damage. That's still not a lot. So let's just tackle you out of the way. One more Gust. Arthur can tank it. And then we'll go and grab this item and then go say hi to everybody. And you notice it is nighttime. I'm not going to make it nighttime too often in this Let's Play. This is just going to be mostly for the duration of this particular recording session. Marty learned Shockwave. Okay, thank you. Now he actually has something he can hit with. So I was wrong in the last episode, as you can see there, by saying that Blitzel learns a fire move or electric move. That is not entirely true. He just learns it before he learns a synergistic electrical move. So a physical attack, if you will. But Shockwave is still a really good move. That same type of attack bonus, that's 60 damage. The fact that it never misses, all of that's really good. Levi, thank you so much. The 2 of you got our Pokemon back. I'm lucky to have friends like you two. Thank you, mister. Please take these as a thank you present. And we get some heal balls, which honestly, that would have been really nice to catch Marty in, but whatever. Clearly, he'll capture Pokemon on the spot. How sweet of you. I'm going to go see this girl on her way. So see you later, Levi. Bye-bye. All right, so off they go, and now we can proceed for the remainder of the route, but like I said, I need to go back and heal, so I'm going to do that really fast, and I'll meet you back where we just were in a second. All right, now we may continue. So as we head further down the route, we are going to start running into some more trainers, but we're also going to be getting some items, and there's actually a new mechanic that we're going to be running into as we go further down this route as well. But first things first, let's start by taking on this Blitzel, and this is hilarious because this is like the first opportunity where I will not be able to use Shockwave like at all. So I'll just switch back on over to Marty. Of course, you happen to have the exact Pokemon I'm using, you jerk. Don't just give it time. Eventually, he'll be able to come into his own. He'll be able to start doing some proper damage and really wiping the floor with some Pokemon. It's just going to take a little while. He's got some work to do. He's lagging behind just a little bit in the leveling department, but don't you worry. Eventually, Marty will be able to hold his own. Just use a standard tackle there. Blitz is going to use a quick attack, which makes sense. Just get off as much damage as you can before you go down. Although, there's not another Pokemon to replace it, so does it really matter? I don't know. Regardless, I'm actually going to be using a Repel as we go through here. And I said that I was going to battle a couple of Audino with Marty between episodes. I think I'm going to do it between the next episode and this one. So, just so we can get through this entire route and into the next area first. All right, as we head over here, Charon is going to point something out to us. Levi, stop! That dark tall grass over there. Every now and again, 2 Pokemon will pop out at the same time. In other words, you have to be careful in the darker grass, heading on to Nacrene City. So like he said, double battles are possible. Double wild Pokemon battles are possible within the tall grass. But it's not just that. Yeah, you can run into wild Pokemon in here when you get into a double battle. But I do want to also explain that this makes catching Pokemon in these scenarios a little bit on the tricky side. So I'm actually going to do a little fight here just to kind of demonstrate. But in double battles, if you encounter a pair of Pokemon, you cannot throw a Pokeball while both are out on the field. The game isn't going to let you. It's just going to say something along the lines of, oh, it's not going to work because it can't aim your Pokeball properly, and yada, yada, yada. Essentially, if you want to catch a specific Pokemon, you need to knock out one to catch the other. So, yeah, it does up your chances of running into the Pokemon you actually want to catch, but aside from that, that is pretty much the only... That's pretty much the only benefit to running into these battles. And then, of course, the additional experience and whatnot. So, there we go. Knock that down. Arthur does hit level 18 off of the back of that. It's a little bit of extra experience, so we'll take it. And let's go battle this next trainer before we continue. I think we still got 2 left to deal with. Pokemon have not been fully trained. They can show their potential depending on their trainer's style. You can't really put a whole lot of style into Pokemon battles in these games, unfortunately. However... I really wish you could. I wish you could add, like, flair and then, like, customize your trainer enough so that they could add their own personal flares and stuff like that. Like, there's, like, what, the stickers that you would put on Pokeballs and whatnot. Like, those are a thing, but it's just not the same. It's not, like, anime levels of being extra, I suppose. I was trying to think of a different word there, but I really couldn't come up with anything. For some reason, I'm at a real loss when it comes to my vocabulary the last few episodes. Goodness, that hurt a lot. Gosh dang, Marty, your defenses are just paltry. I cannot wait to evolve you so that you can actually start taking hits and not just being knocked over like a wet noodle, because that is really going to cause problems. We'll eventually get you there, though. Don't you worry. Again, if I can battle some Audino, that'll help a little bit. Okay, so I think I still have a Repel active, so I can get over here to this item, which is another Great Ball. I don't think this girl on the bridge is a trainer. We can check. Oh, she is. Okay, never mind. I wasn't 100% sure, and I think there's one more trainer on this route before we call it here. But we got Gina with her Pat Rats, and I think I am going to be switching off to Arthur for this part because I don't think he'll survive it. Well, I guess I could chance it. Let's give it a Shockwave and see what we get, but there's a very good possibility that whatever this Pat Rat's going to use, it's going to hurt a lot. Unfortunately, Shockwave, yeah, that's going to hurt. Yeah, and the critical on top of it. Okay, well, I guess Arthur can get all the experience in here. The Shockwave doesn't have a chance of causing paralysis, unfortunately, so that's one benefit that's not in its favor. And then Pat Rat's going to waste my time by using things like Detect, because it's a dick. Well, how about you take a Vine Whip, and you go away. There we go. And her other Pokemon is Purloin. Okay, I'll just use Leaf Tornado on this thing. And then I think I'll run back and heal, because like I said, I don't want Marty to miss out on this experience. But... oh, man, he is frail at the moment, unfortunately, which is rough to deal with. So give me just a second, and I'll be right back. Now, something I actually want to clarify as we continue through here. Rustling grass actually is only a function in regular tall grass. You can't run into that in the dark grass. I did want to point that out. I forgot to mention it earlier, but I was just reminded as I was making my way back on over here. So let's run away from this Pat Rat really quickly, and then we will... take on the last trainer here, and then we can proceed on into the city. our next stop, and also the home of the second gym, which is exciting. But like I said, I really got to work on getting Marty leveled up a little bit more before I am ready for him to do anything in that gym, because honestly, this next one we're about to do is a little bit on the tougher side. And you'll see why once we actually do it. It's certainly tougher than the last gym was. At least, well, okay, last gym could actually be a little bit of a challenge if I didn't use Panpour, but why? Okay, he is getting hit by crits, like, constantly. What is going on here? Like, that's like the third time he's been hit by a critical hit since I caught him. Okay, Roggenrola. This thing, I'm actually going to be using a heal here for this thing, and I think that Marty can handle this, but gosh dang it, can he just avoid the criticals? So Roggenrola is really slow, but the problem is that it has this ability called Sturdy. Now, Shockwave is going to do a lot of damage. I don't know if it's enough to one-shot the Roggenrola, but either way, there's no way I'm one-shotting this thing. It's going to be at least a two-shot. Yeah, so even if that was intended to be a one-shot, it would still survive because of the Sturdy ability. But we've definitely got the speed advantage on this thing, no matter what we do. Down it goes. Marty might be pushed to level 13 here. Yes, he will. So that's nice, at least. And so, now we can head on into the city. Which, I don't know, I've never actually gotten the pronunciation of this one right, but I assume it is Nacrene City. This is the home of the second gym, like I said, and also, as soon as we get here, Charon is going to put a stop to our exploration and be like, no, you must follow me. All right, Charon, what's going on? Go straight from here, there's a Pokemon Center, and use these if you want. And he's going to give us some Chesto Berries. More berries that we can give to our Pokemon to hold that actually prevent sleep. These are actually really useful because, and as he says, Nacrene City's gym uses normal types. If you have a fighting type Pokemon, it might give you a big advantage. There's actually a Pokemon that the Nacrene City gym leader uses that these Chesto Berries are going to be very useful on, and I am going to give one to Arthur for that reason. It'll all make sense in due time. Now, he says that we need fighting type Pokemon if we want to have a better chance of winning this. Now, the next area, the area after Nacrene City, actually has multiple fighting types to pick from. It has a total of 3. So if you really want to, you can absolutely go into the next area and go and catch Bun, but I am not going to be doing that. We're going to be worrying about some other things. So let's start by doing some exploring around the city. First things first, started to shop in this warehouse. Welcome, how may I help you? This person sells X items. Guard specs, tire hits, X accuracy, special defense, all that sort of stuff if you want to get it. I personally do not find those to be worth the money, but it is something that you can actually get, which is cool. That guy explains what dire hit actually does, but up here, just now I traded a Pokemon holding an item, so it's like the item is a present. And this guy, DS Wireless Communications is great. We can trade Pokemon with people who are far away. So there's just them boasting about the trade network. Not the house I was thinking of. I think it's actually this one. There is that shop in there, but in here, Berg used this warehouse until 2 years ago. When Berg gets his artist block, he comes back here to Nacrene City. Who is Berg, you might wonder? Thing you have is a Pokedex, isn't it? Wow, cool. You collect Pokemon. Okay, I'll help you. Which Pokemon did you choose at the beginning of your journey? Well, I chose Snivy. You have a Snivy? Then I will give you this. When you let your Pokemon hold it, it can raise the power of Grass-type moves. So she will give you a held item that is useful depending on the Pokemon that you picked at the beginning. Miracle Seed for Snivy, Charcoal for Tepig, and I believe it's Mystic Water for Oshawa. There are multiple water boosting moves, or water boosting held items, but I think the one she gives is Mystic Water. I'm not going to equip the Miracle Seed on Arthur immediately, because like I said, I do want to use that Chesto Berry at some point. Well, I guess it would probably behoove me to do that right off the bat and then swap it right when we get to the battle. Duh. But it's going to make Leaf Tornado a little bit stronger. I believe it's a 10% increase, but I could be wrong about that. Burger's an artist, and also the gym leader in Castelia City. Well, that answers our previous question. We want to be like him. All right, so maybe we'll meet this guy Berg in due time. I'm going to assume so once we get to Castelia. I have a couple more stops we can make. We're going to be checking all these houses because there's multiple things to do here. You! Oh my, what a lovely trainer. What kind of Pokemon do you have? Oh, you're Blitzel. It's a little bit friendly to you, something like that. This person right here is the friendliness checker. The only use for this person right now is if, like, for instance, you have a Swoobat, or a Woobat, excuse me, which evolves into Swoobat with friendship. You can talk to her to see how your progress is coming along. Pokemon you get through trades grow up fast, but be careful. If a traded Pokemon grows up too much, it won't listen to you. But if you have a lot of badges, you'll be okay. Now this lady, hi, do you have a Pokemon called Petalil, which is actually the Pokemon we saw downstairs? Would you like to trade your Petalil for my Cottony? Now this is interesting. Usually in Pokemon games, in-game trades are a way of getting a Pokemon that levels faster, but otherwise, usually you're getting the raw end of the deal. You're getting a rarer Pokemon to trade for a less rare Pokemon that just happens to level faster. However, in this instance, this trainer is offering me a black version exclusive Pokemon for a white version exclusive Pokemon. Usually Game Freak isn't that generous, giving you version exclusives through in-game trades, but this one time, they are actually doing that. Now that being said, I prefer Petalil to Cottony greatly. It's another reason why I like white version more. It has, I think, in a lot of ways, the better version exclusives. And Petalil, while they're both grass types, and Cottony is definitely better from a competitive standpoint. From a practical main story standpoint, Petalil is the better line. Just trust me on that. We'll discuss them a little bit later. But as we head in here, my name is Loblolly. I'm a designer of decor items, but I'm stuck now. I just can't come up with a good design. I've been thinking about decor so great that it'll appear in a dream. We'll have to talk to her a little bit later. I think she's got more to do with the actual dream world, so we can't really do anything with that at the moment. Let's continue to head up here. We got another house. And I can't remember if any of these people are worth... I don't think either of these two are worth talking to, but if we go upstairs, this guy. I play the guitar and have Pokemon battles every day. I keep doing that because I enjoy it. Now, if we can listen to the music... He has a little guitar line to it, or I think it's more of a bass line, though. But there's another musician, and he's actually not the only musician in this city that we can talk to. There's another one right over here at the cafeteria. I do like the sound of accordions. Now, the thing about these musicians that makes them a little bit different from the ones we saw in Accumula Town is before you had to like talk to them and ask them if you wanted to hear their song, and then it would get added to the mix. With these musicians, it's just added whenever you're near them. So you're going to notice this with a lot of future musicians. We walked past that one guy with the guitar, adds a little line. We walked past this guy with the accordion. It adds it to the soundtrack. We can even listen to it for a second. But as soon as we walk away from him, that starts to go away from the soundtrack. Like so. So there is actually an item over here that I can grab from one of these spots here in this area. I'm going to search around for it really quickly. I know it's a held item, or a hidden item. And that's another Ultra Ball. Thank you very much. This house right here, this, I believe, only is beneficial to us on Wednesdays. I am recording this on a Monday, but on Wednesdays, you can buy soda pops here in the cafe warehouse. Otherwise, it's just people you can talk to. There's not really anything of actual value in this area. But I believe the only other thing that I am missing is a hidden item, which is actually all the way down the tracks here. And I just need to check and see if I can find it. It's around here somewhere. I know it's close to the end, but I don't know if it's right on. There you are. There is a revive. Pretty much the first possible chance of getting a revive in this game. I think they start to become purchasable after the third gym, but don't quote me on that. All I know is that that is a very early revive that is going to be very helpful, possibly, for the upcoming gym, because the upcoming gym can actually be a little bit of a doozy. But with all that said, guys, that is going to be it for this episode of Let's Play Pokemon White. Thank you all so very much for watching. In the next episode, we are going to be doing battle against the second gym, which is actually directly ahead. If you take a look at this, Nacrene City Pokemon Gym leader Lenora. What did it say? An archaeologist with backbone. Checking that out next time. But I'm also going to be doing a little bit of leveling with Marty off screen. So hopefully he's a little bit stronger and will actually be able to hold his own going into this place. So yeah, with all that said, I will see you all in the next one.